Is it boring yet? Has the novelty worn off? Is it falling apart? I brought this Tesla Model 3 back in December 2020, and it was the brand new refreshed 2021 Tesla Model 3 build at that time. So I've owned my first EV for 2.5 years of ownership, and after such a milestone, what is going strong with my Tesla Model 3? And are there any signs of my rear-wheel drive Model 3 beginning to falter as the miles start to rack up? Hello and welcome back to another Tesla electric car video with me, Adam Wellinformed, where each week I cover the latest Tesla news to Tesla EV ownership. If you are watching this video, which you absolutely are because you wouldn't be listening to this very sentence, you may be considering a Tesla Model 3 and want an owner's perspective on how a 30-month-old rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3 is holding up, especially when used as the sole family car. Flashing back to my prior purchase, I was probably in a similar position you are today. I drove a 1.2 petrol hatchback and we needed something a little bigger as our sole and primary family car. And like pretty much every Tesla owner or aspiring owner, I ended up watching countless YouTube videos, and instantly this car and Teslas in general just stood out from the crowd, with technology and safety at the heart of its offering. It ticked a lot of boxes for us, and overall it looked like a real interesting concept and something wildly refreshing to its rivals. The starting price was fairly high at the time, and in the end I justified that with the cheaper annual running costs, £764 for the first 2 years, and that's for electric, maintenance, tax and everything else. But even before I hit purchase, I was equally still hesitant. To combat that, I always found owner reviews just way more informative and more rounded in their findings. The longer the term of ownership, the more it had to offer on longevity and expectations, especially when it came to maintenance and reliability. Press reviews tend to be a rehash of specs, which serves a purpose, but when you want a more knuckle-down review and without politics, user ownership reviews just seem to hit the spot. Do you know what I mean? Anyhow, you want to know the positives and the negatives after 30 months of ownership, don't you? Just before I do that, please can you kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and finally hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Right, let's get into it, folks. So to kickstart this Tesla Model 3 review after 30 months, getting straight to the point, is it boring? When the average car ownership is around the 4-year mark, hitting 2.5 years is not a point many would consider switching. However, it's not totally uncommon for people to swap after 2 or 3 years, and I'm bang in the middle here, aren't I? But let's be honest, changing cars before the 4-year point is because something is either extremely wrong, you get bored easy, or you just like getting a new car. Hey, I'm not judgmental Adam here, just summarising the main points as to why that may be, or it's just as simple as your finance term is up. However, I do not fit into any of those categories. Have I been tempted though? Yes, wholeheartedly. I'd be lying if I said no, but that's a whole different story that I'll cover later on. But am I bored of my Tesla Model 3? No, I have no reason to be bored. But why so confident, Adam? The best way to explain it is, when I walk away from this car, do I still look back in awe with it? And I absolutely do. It's that warm feeling in your gut that's such a good trust indicator of your decision making. There's obviously more to it than just a gut feeling, but the truth is, I get hyped and rejuvenated when I get the opportunity to wash it all down and give the tyres a fresh lick of tyre gel. It's like it's been reborn again. I did this clip as a prime demonstration of this very video in mind. For reference, I've never ceramic coated by paintwork, and I don't have any kind of PPF wrap or paint protection on the car. And just from the video clips and glancing at it, does it look aged or damaged to you? Despite not having any paint protection, I hope this illustrates that despite the criticism of Tesla paint, which is less verbalised than what it was when I first got my car, my paint has held up extremely well, and mine is a Fremont made Tesla. And this begs the question, have I just been lucky, or is the paintwork better than claimed to be? I won't know the truth, but speaking on my car, there's no complaints. A few stain chips here or there, nothing unusual. It scrubs it well though. But what about boredom behind the wheel? If you've driven a Tesla or an electric car, you'll know what I mean. The motor just doesn't feel like it's aging. If you put the pedal to the metal, you know if the moment ever presents itself, the instant torque brings back the same smile from day one. It simply doesn't falter or age, it doesn't even whine. It feels very much alive after 20,000 miles, still nippy, agile and fun to drive. So it truly looks good, to me at least, and it feels no different to drive from day one. What about the software updates? What has that brought to the table for me across my ownership? I know a lot of people interested in Tesla know it receives software updates on your drive, just like your smartphone would at home. However, I thought it would be great to summarize very quickly the sort of updates Tesla will bring to the table in such a short period of time. I can't cover everything, but here's my short list of those updates that have been meaningful to me. The first one all current owners must love, the new quick wiper setting, and this came in the latest update and has enabled the wiper functions to be dealt with completely by the stalk and the steering wheel scroll. Simple, but way more convenient now. No more screen work is required. If you just learnt that, what can I say except you're welcome. Drop me a tricky like if you just learned that. The second one on the list was a better charging curve, and this effectively means during a supercharging session, the charging speed is now tailored in a more efficient way, so that converts into a quicker charging experience. Think of it as matching the optimum amount of pace to win a marathon. This improvement came from a simple software update. The third point is very similar. It was a software update to make winter driving more efficient, thus allowing for a greater vehicle range during wintry conditions. And this just highlights some of the capabilities opened up when hardware and software are integrated and fully dialed in to continue to bring value, joy, and range for free. Seriously, who's going to complain about that? The fourth point is the introduction of Disney Plus, the ability for the kids to watch the likes of Toy Story or Finding Nemo at a moment when the kids need some downtime or want to go home early. This software stuff is gold for us parents. It definitely brings out an entertainment edge into the arsenal of tools us parents can utilise. Final software point that comes to mind is the safety prevention feature. Literally overnight, the car enabled the seatbelts to tighten before a collision, and thanks to AI and the data collected by Tesla, the car can now better predict a collision moments before occurring, all by utilising AI and the cameras. Whilst it isn't a feature I've used, knowing it's been added free of charge, I'm chuffed to bits. This helps my family to be even more safer than ever before, just because the software has enabled the car to be preventative rather than reactive in a collision. Ultimately, safety is paramount. So what about maintenance? Is it all too much to handle with an electric car? If you've seen my videos before, you know that these vehicles have been designed with reliability and maintenance in mind. I've had the odd issue here or there, and you can see my previous review videos for reference, but touch wood, to date, I've never had a mechanical issue that's affected the driving experience. To name a few issues that I've experienced, I had one of the side cameras stop working, I had a fault with the tailgate/electric boot, and finally, my window buttons on the driver's door started popping off, but these were fixed under warranty and mostly from home, but primarily they were of no serious concern. The only other maintenance that I've had to do is replace the cabin filter, however I did that myself from home. I think I've spent maybe £30 or £40 for 2.5 years of maintenance, which seems absolutely criminal compared to my petrol hatchback. I'm pretty sure that I would have spent around 10 times that already for my old car. That's mainly down to just the annual servicing costs, not any parts or anything else. Admittedly, I did check the tyre treads the other day, and it looks like I will need to change the rear tyres in the coming months. I've racked up just over 20,000 miles, and the lowest reading that I got was around 3.5 millimeters of tread, and that was one of the rear tyres. Therefore, having an EV hasn't impacted my tyre usage. It hasn't exceeded expectations, but tracked very much in line with the average tyre usage in the UK across all cars. The tyre costs vary, however, getting the same Michelin Pilot Sport 4s costs just around over £200 fitted from home, so I probably have to spend around £420 come autumn to get 2 new rear tyres, which isn't the cheapest, but it's a decent all-round tyre to have, I guess. I believe they actually have a layer of foam on the inside of the tyre to reduce road noise, which makes them particularly unique. The final point I want to go over is the temptation to sell and acquire something else. If my wife got her way, we'd probably be driving a Model Y by now. Personally, I feel like it's a good evolutionary step to take as the kids get older. However, push come to shove, I've said it before, there's nothing wrong with my Tesla Model 3. Apart from people driving into it and dawdling in it, the car deals with our needs just fine. There's no real need to upgrade just yet. The residual drops in 2022 seems to have levelled out once again, and so I think it's best to continue to build equity and enjoy the software updates. It's not like the car is starting to falter and needs consistent maintenance. We still have 1.5 years left of our basic warranty as we're unlikely to meet the mileage cap. Plus, we still have 5.5 years left of the battery and the motor warranty. Therefore, apart from the size gain and the slightly larger range that will be used very rarely over the course of a year, what do I stand to gain from upgrading? Yes, there are a few little additions here and there, but not enough to say, look, we really need that. this leads me beautifully to the conclusion. So to conclude my Tesla Model 3 review, even after 2.5 years, it fulfills our day-to-day needs just perfectly. It needs minimal maintenance so far, and it continues to receive both practical and convenience upgrades overnight thanks to software updates. Still to this day, I do not regret this purchase. It was a little bit of a leap of faith at the time of purchase because we didn't know anyone else that had gone fully electric before. However, after all those YouTube videos and the research, it really is everything that I expected it to be and more. There really are features that I never expected from day one that we have today thanks to software updates, and that really helps spice up the car ownership experience and continues to make it feel like a fresh experience. As an owner and based on my positive experience, I can't recommend it enough. If you are considering buying a Tesla, you should make sure that you use a Tesla referral code, as this will gift you credits to use against free supercharger miles. And I'll leave my Tesla referral link below in the description if you are interested. If not, don't worry, I won't be offended. It won't change my experience one bit. Well, that's it for me this week. What did you think from my review? Did it help you today? If you got this far in the video, you must have as much passion for the Model 3 as I have. If you get this far, do drop me the comment Model 3 Monster, and I'll give you a cheeky thumbs up for the support. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the video with your friends and family. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.